Hey everybody, I'm Jacob Castro and welcome to another video here on Jacob's Aquarium. Today I'll be setting up a 10-gallon planted tank. Alright guys, so we're going to do this video handheld. It's not going to be professional by any means. It's going to be me holding this camera talking to you guys about setting up this 10-gallon planted tank. That's it. Very simple. Very straightforward video, nothing high-end, it's not going to be edited, voiced over, nothing. And I think you guys will appreciate this because, I get a ton of comments from people saying like, I miss your old videos. I miss, the old style where you held your camera and talked to us, So I hope this brings you guys back to when Jacob's Aquarium first started, and kind of brings back some memories for you guys of when you first started watching my videos, when you first started in the hobby, things like that. I think this video will actually be pretty cool. So let's get started, shall we? So I got this 10-gallon tank from I was gonna say Walmart, from PetSmart, which, by the way, everything I got for this new setup I got from PetSmart. Yes, I know, supporting the big box store, but you know what, guys? I live in a city where the nearest mom and pop, my favorite tropical fish store, is like 67 miles away. I just can't. I was not about to do that today. And by the way, when I woke up this morning, my plan wasn't to set up a 10-gallon planted tank. I actually just wanted to chill because today's my day off. I work 2 jobs. My life is crazy, but I was just, sitting around and I'm like, you know what? I'm bored. Let's go spend some money. Now, I could have went shopping. I could have bought a ton of clothes. I could have bought another watch because I love collecting watches. I need new shoes. I could have bought new shoes. But no, I go out and I buy a new aquarium. See, that's the addiction, guys. I'm just wiping down the glass right now for those of you guys wondering what I'm doing. You're like, why is he moving his arm up and down? What is he doing? But yeah, that is the addiction. You could be, the most hardcore penny pincher in the world, but when it comes to your hobby, hey, if you go broke, doesn't matter. At least you have a fish tank. All right, so the tank is going to be on my desk, and I chose this location because I want to stare at this tank as much as possible. This is where I work. This is where I manage jacobsaquarium.com and conduct a lot of business, phone calls, and all kinds of stuff. So having this right next to my workstation, I think, would be amazing. And it's right next to my bed. So this is where the magic happens, and I thought adding a little extra magic wouldn't be a bad thing at all. So now that I got the tank wiped down, we can start adding the substrate. And for substrate, I chose this stuff right here. Now, I probably won't use all this stuff because it is like way too much. Mac, get the hell out of here. Move. Jeez. Move. Bleep. Get out the way. I can't say the bad word because, YouTube and their new rules. Anyway, so I got these 2 substrates from PetSmart. Floramax Carib Sea by Carib Sea and Fluorite by Seacan. I love both of these substrates. Used them in the past with previous aquariums, and they work great. Using both of these combined won't be an issue. It's not gonna, make the tank go crazy. It's not gonna make the tank explode. Some people send me questions and they're like, oh my God, but if I use sand and fluoride, what's gonna happen? Oh my God, are the plants gonna grow? Oh my God, is the tank gonna be successful? And people are freaking out, but it's like, no, it'll be fine. Calm down, Jessica, it's gonna be okay. So, I won't use all of these bags. Just because it'll be way too much substrate for this tank. But I am going to use all of the fluorite because I prefer this one over the Floramax. Floramax has been around for a long time. Fluorite has been around for a long time as well. But I just prefer fluorite, but I will use a little bit of this stuff just to make sure that, there's a good level of substrate in the aquarium. Okay, so let's put this stuff in. All right, let's add the substrate. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, you always want to add the substrate first. If you're setting up a planted tank and you're really new to the hobby, don't make the mistake that some people have really regretted making. Do not add the substrate after you have filled up the tank with water. You will only be disappointed. Trust me on this. So, okay, let's add the substrate. Oh, yes. Hi, beautiful. Aw, man, you know what? I think one bag is probably going to be enough. I think I spent too much money today. Let's see. Ooh, it's wet. Yeah, you know what? One bag's going to be enough. Looks like I can return the other one. Okay, so let's just go ahead and level this stuff out. Oops, just into the back mostly. Create some depth in the tank. There we go. Level it. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, substrate's in. Now we can start adding the heater and filter. All right, so for filtration, I chose the Fluval 30. I use this filter actually on my 88 tank that's set up at the nursery. And it's a great filter. It does a really great job. Has all stages of filtration, mechanical, chemical, and biological, which is essentially everything that you need. So it's a perfect choice for a planted tank. It is, this filter I will say was expensive buying it from PetSmart. So if you have the ability, I would say buy it from a mom and pop pet store or somewhere else, just because this filter at PetSmart was $40, and in the past I've paid like 15 bucks for a filter like this. I even think you can find them on Amazon for that price as well. So don't buy them from PetSmart. It's crazy expensive. I just chose PetSmart because, hey, they're right there. I wanted to set up the tank today, so once again, why not, right? Now I won't be using the chemical media just because I really don't believe in it. I really just believe in mechanical and biological, which is all I use on my tanks. I don't think ever since my goldfish tank when I was like, that I had when I was like, I was probably around like 15, I don't know, 14 or 15. I don't think ever since then I've used chemical media, just because I don't really see a point to it. You know, it's like, it's supposed to filter out, you know, odors and make the water clear, but I mean, I don't know, I just really don't see a point to it, because, you know, you can achieve that with just regular filtration, you know, and water changes and, you know, regular maintenance, in other words. And, you know, not to mention, like, you have to change that stuff once in a while, you know. And when well, actually, I couldn't even say once in a while. I should say you have to change it like maybe once a week to like maintain its overall effectiveness. So it's kind of like a pain in the butt, you know. So I'd rather just have biological and mechanical filtration, you know, just a place for beneficial bacteria to collect, and a place for, you know, debris to get caught, and so that I can you know, maintain the clarity of the aquarium. So I think that should be plenty. Okay, so we got the biological media in a little bag here, and the bag is like way oversized for something like this. You don't really need all this, so I'm going to probably cut that in the future, but for now I'm just going to leave it like this. You know, the bag, the extra part of the bag will give it even more surface area for beneficial bacteria to collect, so why not? Okay, so that's how the sponge and biological media goes in, so we're just going to put it in there just like that. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to put the biological media at the bottom and then put the sponge on the top. And I know you guys may be saying, read the directions. I'm probably going against everything they recommend in the freaking manual for this filter, but you know what, guys? I'm really not the person that follows directions. I don't follow, you know, do this, do that a certain way. I pretty much make my own way, and I've been pretty successful that way, so I don't really see a problem. So, all right, so we got the media in there, and I think I might have to move that sponge up just a little bit, but we're gonna leave it there for now because I just got to get the tank set up because I got fish in a bag right now, and they need to get in this tank as soon as possible. Yes, I will be adding fish today. By the way, I'm not one of those people that waits, 2 weeks till their tank is fully set up to add fish. Call it cruel or whatever you want to, refer to it as, but I don't think it's cruel. I set up my fish tanks with fish on the first day without any problems for many, many years. Okay, I don't know why I just plugged that in, but I've set up fish tanks like this ever since I started in the hobby, pretty much. Once again, I don't follow the rules. And my tanks have been perfectly fine. As long as you add the right chemicals, you add some dechlorinators, and, oh, that's lovely. The top is cracked. Oh boy. That's fine. That's fine. As long as you add, what the hell? Okay, this doesn't make sense. Oh, wait a minute. Put this on backwards. Yeah, so like I was saying, as long as you add the, proper chemicals, dechlorinators, beneficial bacteria, things like that, you should be perfectly fine. There really shouldn't be a need to, buy the fish that you really don't want to have in this tank and wait 2 weeks and all that stuff. Just the way I do it is I buy the fish I want, set up the tank the same day, put all this stuff in there and let it go. So, okay, so we got the filter on there. Now we can add the heater. For the heater, I chose the Eheim 50-watt heater. It's for aquariums. It's rated for aquariums up to 16 gallons, so this should be just fine. I have one of these on, actually, no, I'm sorry, I don't have one of these. I have the higher end model on the ADA tank, and I also have 3 of the 300-watt models on the pond at the nursery, and these heaters have not failed me once. I've read some reviews from some people saying that they haven't worked too well for them. I just say that that's like a 1 in a million chance, or a very rare thing, just because I've had so many of these heaters and they just don't fail on me. They work really well, and they're powerful, and they do a great job of maintaining temperature in an aquarium. And like I said, I have 3 of these things, or 3 of the 300-watt models on the pond. And the pond is 600 gallons, and it heats the pond very well, or they heat the pond very well. So yeah, that's why I chose to go with the Eheim heater. I'm just gonna move this up, just because I don't want it that close to the substrate. So let's go ahead and move it down. Oops, don't want to break it. Just got it. Okay, put this up there. There we go. That's better. Okay. So the heater is set at 75 degrees, which is perfect for a tropical fish tank, planet tank. So, okay, we got the filter, we got the heater on, we got the substrate in. Now we can add some water, then we can add the beneficial bacteria and the dechlorinator, and then we can add the fish. So let's start filling this tank up with water. Now we can turn the filter on and plug in the heater. So let's do that now. There's the heater, and there's the filter. And there we go, filter starting up for the first time. Let's just wait for it to get going here. Okay, got all the bubbles out. There we go. Okay, filter's running. Let's see, is the heater on? Yep, heater is on. I can see the little light. Okay, so we are pretty much done. I'm just kidding, we're not done yet. Okay, so now we need some light over this tank, right? So I thought about it, and you know, I decided, guys, that the Castro H1200, H1200 would be the best option. You know, this light is amazing. It's pretty much like having the sun, the power of the sun, you know, in a light fixture. But I figured it would be perfect for this 10-gallon tank. No, absolutely not. I'm actually going to be using a Castro H160 Tuna Sun LED. So let's go ahead and mount that over the tank right now. Okay, so I got the Castro fixture right here. Let's go ahead and screw it into the gooseneck. I was not about to use any other light for this Planet tank because I honestly believe Castros are the best. Now I know there's lots of, you know, different lighting systems out there, but I just love Castros. They are the best in my opinion. So now let's go ahead and mount this over the tank. Gonna mount it right in the middle so it gives the tank the best possible spread of light. Very, very simple to mount this using the Castro gooseneck. Amazing Castro gooseneck. There we go. Okay. Now we can adjust it without cracking the glass on the aquarium. That is very scary because this glass is very, very thin. Okay, so the light's on. Looks gorgeous. Let's go ahead and plug it in now. So route the cables. Now I will be doing some cable management in the very near future. I'm just too excited, guys, and I want to get this tank set up like now. And obviously for the sake of the video, I'm sure you guys don't want to sit here and watch me, you know, like manage cables. And that's not really entertaining. Okay. There we go. Plug this in. There we go. Look at that. Let's go ahead and make sure it's on the right intensity. Yes, it is. Wow, that lights up the tank amazingly, if that's a word. Wow, that's perfect. That is all the light I need. Gorgeous. Okay, so we got the filter running. We got the Castro H160 Tuna Sun over the tank. We got the heater in, substrates in, water's in. Now we can add our dechlorinator and beneficial bacteria. We're going to do a dechlorinator first. So for a dechlorinator, I chose Tetra AquaSafe Plus. Been using this stuff for years. It's worked very well for me. So let's just read the directions. Shake well, add 1 teaspoon, 5 milliliters for every 10 gallons. And you can use the cap, I'm pretty sure, as a measuring device. If not, I'm just gonna wing it because I've done this so many times. I know exactly how much to put. Okay, so it doesn't look, let's see. Yeah, it doesn't look like you can use the cap as a measuring device, so I'm just gonna wing it. There we go, that should be plenty. Okay, it's probably a little too much, or maybe a little over, but whatever. It's not, guys, it's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna, you know, kill the whole tank if you add too much of that stuff. So, okay, now we got the bacteria. This is made by Top Fin. Very cheap. This bottle was like $4, I think. So this is the beneficial bacteria, which will get the cycling process started. So let's go ahead and take this thing off. Oh my goodness. Get off of there. Okay, there we go. Now this one does have a measuring cap, so that's awesome. I wish they did that with AquaSafe Plus, but I guess Tetra was a little too cheap for that. So for every 10 gallons, we need to add 10 milliliters, and this is for new tanks. This is what it says on the directions. Now I know I say I don't like following directions, but in this case, it doesn't hurt to follow directions. So If you're doing a regular water change and you want to add some of this, you can add 5 milliliters like it says on the bottle, but for a new tank they recommend 10 milliliters. I'm going to dose 10, but I'm also going to dose a little bit more than 10 just because I'm adding fish today and I really want to get the process started, and I want some bacteria to start growing in here. So we're going to measure out 10, and there's 10. Okay. And for a little added insurance, let's add 5 milliliters. So we're going to add 15 altogether. Okay, there we go. Bacteria is in, dechlorinator is in. I'm going to let the tank circulate water for just maybe another 5 minutes, and then we're going to add the fish. Alright guys, so for fish I chose lamp eye tetras, beautiful species of tetra. So the tank is not crystal clear, but I need to add the fish, so I was going to wait till it cleared up, but it's not going to clear up just right this second. So the fish need to go in, so let's go ahead and float them so they can get used to the temperature, and then release them into the tank. There you go guys. Oh boy, it's full. Alright guys, so the fish have been floating for about 15 minutes, so I'm sure the water temperature is, it should be decent. Not perfect, but should be fine for them now. So I'm going to, oh boy, I'm going to get this rubber band off of here and add the fish into the tank. For some reason, these PetSmart employees are not taught the mom and pop way of bagging fish. For those of you that don't know, if you go to a mom and pop store, they will tie the rubber band around the bag so that all you got to do is simply pull the rubber band and it comes off with ease. But PetSmart employees seem to like tie the rubber band in knots. And there it goes, it just broke on me. Oh boy, okay. Definitely not your mom and pop fish store experience, that's for sure. Okay, so that off, and now we can get the fish in the net and add them into the tank. And I'm going to do that over the kitchen sink. So I will be right back. Alright, so I got the fish in the net. Let's go ahead and add them into the aquarium. There you go guys. Welcome to your new home. And I'll let them settle in. Alright guys, fast forward a couple days and here's the end result. The tank is fully set up. We got the filter running, and I added a ton of biomedia, and the biomedia is made by Fluval. You can see it right there. I like totally filled up the whole back of the filter. And I know that's not the typical way you set up this filter, but that's how I do it. So don't freak out and post a bunch of comments telling me you're not supposed to do it that way. But that's how I do it, because I like lots of biological filtration. So we got the aqua clear. It looks like an aqua clear, huh? We got the Fluval. Actually, you know what? Is aqua clear the same thing? I'm not sure. I'm not gonna get into that. That's too much right now. Anyways, so filter setup. It's been running for a while, building up some good bacteria. And I got the Kessel light over here. This is the Kessel A160 Tuna Sun. Doing a really great job of lighting this tank. And I know it looks a little smoky. That's because I've been vaping in this room. Got my Smock Stick V8 vaping device. Got my other vaping device too, and I'm not going to say what that is, but for those of you out there that partake, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, they got the Eheim heater in there, heating the tank, keeping it at a nice 75 degrees. Awesome. Got the substrate in there. You guys know what substrate that is. And we got plants. Most of all, we got plants. So being that I bought everything at PetSmart, I supported a big box store with this tank, and I really regretted it. But like I said earlier in the video, um, you know, my nearest mom and pop fish store is very, very far away. So PetSmart was the only thing convenient for me. Um, so I could have just brought home plants from the nursery, but I wanted to give these plants a try that I saw at PetSmart. These plants are made by Top Fin, and they're tissue culture plants. And believe it or not, guys, you know, I've sold Tropica tissue culture plants on my website before. I was actually the first online business in America to sell Tropica products. And they actually, you know, used my business as a way of breaking into the American market. For those of you guys that don't know, it was actually a pretty groundbreaking, history-making thing that I was a part of, that Jacob's Aquarium was a part of, that not many of you may know, but for my longtime viewers, I'm sure you guys remember that, because it was a pretty big deal when it was going on. I made a ton of videos about it. But yeah, so I sold tissue culture plants on my website for a while. I don't anymore, just because my customers really don't like them. You know, my customers want big, beautiful plants, and you know, you can only achieve that selling regular aquarium plants grown at nurseries. These tissue culture plants are very small. As you can see, that's all I got. I mean, if these were regular aquarium plants, you know, grown at a nursery, they'd be, geez, like 10 times bigger. Maybe the Startage and Repens would be a little bit bigger, not too much bigger than it is, but the crypts in the bag would definitely be much bigger. So people really don't like tissue culture just because you don't get a lot. And, you know, I've heard also some people have some trouble growing them. I haven't had trouble growing them so far. They seem to be doing really well. But of course, you know, time will tell. But I bought these tissue culture plants at PetSmart. They're made by Top Fin. And the crypt that I got is Crypt Undulata. Hope I pronounced that correctly. And you can see the scientific name down there. Pretty much the same thing as what the main title is. And I got Startage and Repens as well. These two plants I've seen at PetSmart for the longest time in these tissue culture packages, and I've always wanted to give them a try, but just never have. And so now I am, and I'm actually really excited, because I think this tank is going to look pretty cool. It's going to be a cute little, you know, planted tank with this carpet of Startage and Repens, you know, carpeting out the bottom, and having the crypts, you know, be the kind of taller plants, you know, spread out sporadically in the tank while there's carpeting plants around them. I think it's going to look really nice. And I haven't noticed any development yet with the plants. I just planted them yesterday, so there's not going to be too much development. But I haven't noticed any yet, but I will definitely keep you guys updated on, you know, how the plants are doing. But, you know, I haven't seen any plants or any melting or leaf loss, which is something that happens usually within the first, you know, 24 hours of a plant being in an aquarium. So that's a good sign. That means that these are healthy specimens, and they should do really well in this tank, I think. So yeah, so we added plants. They're looking great. Once they grow in, they should be amazing. And yes, I'm not using CO2. I'm just going to simply rely on the waste from my fish and this nutrient-rich substrate to grow these plants. And I'm going to see how they do. Maybe they'll need CO2, maybe they won't, but I'm just going to see how they do without it. Because to add CO2 on this tank, it's going to be another investment, another, you know, $150 or so, which is actually what I spent on just the filter, heater, tank, substrate. Actually, not even counting the plants, because I bought the plants separately. So actually, the tank, substrate, filter, and heater all together, it would probably be around $180. That's not counting the Castro LED, which retails for upwards of 200 some odd dollars. So adding a CO2 system would put the overall cost of this tank at probably like, man, probably like $400-500 maybe, you know. I'm really bad at math, so maybe you guys can do the math for me, but I think it'd be around there. So this tank would be quite an investment. So I'm not going to add CO2 just yet because I don't want to go too crazy. I just want to see how the plants do without it. And you know, so far they've remained you know, healthy. You know, they haven't been melting or anything, like I said. The fish are doing great. They've been mostly you know, hiding or trying to hide. There's not too many hiding places in the tank, so they kind of keep to themselves in, you know, the corners of the tank. But they're very active when I feed them. They swim all over the place. So the fish seem to be doing good as well. I haven't noticed any signs of any diseases or health issues. So so that's good. And they're gorgeous. These tetras with that red color over their eyes, just incredible. It's so striking. I love it. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. That's my new 10-gallon planted tank. Of course, stay tuned to Jacob's Aquarium for future updates on this aquarium. As it grows in, it's gonna look amazing, and I'll be making videos all along the way to show you guys its progress. And also stay tuned because after this video, I will be filming an update of the AGA tank that's set up at the nursery to show you guys what's going on with that tank. A little preview I could give you guys is that I've had some issues with algae, plain and simple. But we'll talk more about that in the next video, okay? So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description where you can find me on social media and support me on Patreon and buy plants from my website. I have a website, jacobsaquarium.com, where there's a ton of aquatic plants for sale. So go check it out if you're in the market for aquatic plants. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Have fun with your tanks, and I'll see you next time.